Let's talk about the radical groups here in Deutschland, in Germany. Actually, when we talk about radicalization, we need to talk about the jihadist Islamist or Islamic group. And of course, we should mention also to the far right wings. Regarding the most important radical jihadist group, we could say Al-Islamic group in Germany, Al-Tahrir party, and there is maybe the hardcore group here in Germany. In Arabic, they are Al-Din Al-Haq. We could translate them the true religious, but the name is Al-Din Al-Haq. And Abu Naji is the most important leader of this group, and they are famous here in Germany. Millet Ibrahim group also consider one of the most hardcore groups, and they were banned by the German government. Regarding the Meli Grush group, originally they are from Turkey, and it's belong to maybe 10 years here in Germany. Muslim Brotherhood is one of the main group also here in Germany. They are maybe not on the list of terror group or radicalization, but it was considered by the Bundesverfassung and Interior Ministry that it is one of the hardcore. There are also some group, Al-Sharia group. It's a small group, and they are very famous in Bogota city. There is also Jama'at al-Nusra wa Tawheed, al-Nusra and al-Tawheed group. And we have maybe a group, Abul Wala, sorry. Abul Wala group is also one of the main radical group here in Germany, and they are famous with their logistic work to support mostly the ISIS in Syria and Iraq. Those groups are the most Islamic jihadist group, and here we should move also to the radical far right wings. We have the neo-Nazi, we have the independent citizen movement, identity movement, Begida, and also the German Reich movement. We have also the AFP. It's not radical group. It's a party, and it's not classified, but I believe it was mentioned it is right, but maybe it's not far right wing. And we have also the National Democratic Party, German. Of course, both radicalization, jihadist, far right, both of them, they we could consider them that they are most dangerous on German national security. But from my side, I believe that mostly the far right are more dangerous right now, and I think that the Interior Ministry and the German government realized lately how much they are dangerous. They are dangerous, the far right wings, because they are living among us, and also they have the politic cover sometimes, and of course they are national. So if we talk about the jihadists and terror, they are well recognized, and we could distinguish them. But the dangers of far right here in Germany, I believe personally, the danger is not only on foreigner, but it is, as our friend, the speaker, they talk that it's a threat also the democracy in Germany, and also they could implement or carry out assassination to some politic who are supporting, for example, immigration, asylum seeker, and maybe they are pro the foreigner. For that reason, I believe that the far right wings, they are not less dangerous than jihadists. And regarding the group of far right and the jihadists, the German government, they applied or implement some program, a preventive program for radicalization. The most important program, of course, those program we don't have much detail. And unfortunately, when we search about those program, we haven't find a good data. But the most important thing, program are life project, and I believe that Dr. Pia, he mentioned this one. And we have Al-Murshid, or the guide program. We have democracy life program. We have a community enforcement program. We have a preventive to combat extremists inside a school program. This is one of the most important program also. And we have also the dialogue with the insurgent or radical group. We have also a program combat right-wing extremists. And the last program, we have protect youth from extremists. The most important things, we mentioned those program, and we have also maybe some program we haven't mentioned. The most important things is how much those program succeeded, how much are useful. Are they useful with the to prevent radicalization in Germany? Regarding the research in Europe Center, and I believe some other experts, not only in Germany but in Europe, they found or they conclude, unfortunately, those programs are not much useful to prevent radicalization. Why? Those programs, maybe it's good for those people who just start at the first step of radicalization, but we can't implement or rule this program with those people who join ISIS, Al-Qaeda in Iraq, Syria, Libya, and came back because they got training. Also, they are hardcore ideology, and of course, they are also experienced with the managing, for example, operation, terror operation, explosive material. So they are well trained, and of course, the ideology is we could consider them they are very radical. So those program, unfortunately, can't be useful for those who join ISIS, Al-Qaeda in Iraq and Syria. But those program, maybe it would be better or useful for the people, the young people who just trend or join a radical group inside Germany. There is one thing that when we talk about the terror, and mostly the German people, They are also have experience to defeat ISIS and Al-Qaeda, but the most challenge for security is the radicalization from inside Germany, whether it's right-wing or jihadist. For that reason, I believe that security policy should be reviewed here in Germany. We should depend on a preventive program, and we should concentrate also on radicalization inside, but at the same time, the government, of course, need to cooperate with the Middle East or with those countries who has experience to challenge or to fight Daesh. Because right now, terror or radicalization, there is no border. And there is no absolute security for any country, whether it's European, Germany, or in the Middle East. For that reason, we need, I believe, we need cooperation to get more information, more data about radicalization and about terror. Thank you. We have a break.
I think yes, we can start our break now.
No questions or comments?
We can start our break.
Oh,
You have a young
I'm
lady.
sorry. If there is any question, please.
I was just curious to know how actually the radicalization program works. Just this out.
I didn't hear you very well.
I was just curious to know how actually the radicalization program works. I mean, which kind of procedures it follow.
You want to
I didn't understand.
she wants to know how the de-radicalization programs in Germany work, how they function.
Yes, unfortunately, as I mentioned, sorry, thank you for explanation. Unfortunately, that the result, there is an agreement that the result not only in Germany, but with the other European country, unfortunately, it doesn't work. I'm sorry to say that.
And at the risk of radicalizing people here from preventing them to get coffee, to answer your question, actually, that's one of the problems is that each organization has its own process. For example, Hayat focuses a lot on the families. Okay, so they'll say, no, they're very annoyed that, for example, with returning fighters, the BND goes at them right away. And they will say, no, we need to integrate them with the family. We need to create the environment with the family where it's conducive to reintegrate them, because their perception is that a lot of it begins with the family environment. You have others that, no VPN, for example, a lot of the work they do in the prisons is, their approach is everything is voluntary. So if somebody in jail wants to share the information or just talk about it, they need to be in a position to just offer an ear. Let that person talk, develop the trust. That's part of their process to try to see if it's a very psychological process to see if that person at some point realizes I made a mistake, but it's about talking. Daniel Curlo with Guilds has a very different approach. He integrates a lot of the state factors into this. He works a lot with families, but a lot of it is integrated with other structures, partners. So, and again, that's to add to this is that you can't quantify it. You know, as I mentioned, you know, it's a lifelong process. So you can't say, well, we have 12 cases this year that worked out, because in 5 years maybe they won't work. And so the fact that there's no quantifiable data creates that situation where people say it doesn't work. And because each program, each organization has its own standards, then you have a lot of them that can say, well, yours is fudge, yours is crap, mine is better, this works, this doesn't, and then the competing elements. So Yeah, there's no standard way of doing it, and there's no country with a standard. The US borrows a lot from Germany. France worked really poorly. They have their own problems. The UK, the most well-known program is Prevent, but even that is highly debatable because they, for example, part of the Prevent program is not to de-radicalize, it's to notice the early signs. So it's to ask a teacher, did this child speak about Palestine? Yes, and it's actually a real criteria. Oh, he might be radicalizing. It's a good question, but each his own.
And may I add one thing, I'm sorry, that social security, I believe that the experience in Holland and Netherlands, they are focused on social security to coordinate with the families, with the school, with the mosque. If there is any sign, there is an alarm for radicalization, mostly among students, among young people.
Well, there's certainly, good morning everybody, my name is Daniel Gerlach. There is certainly programs that work and others that don't, so I wouldn't say, like, you cannot say totally the whole approach is not working. But there is confusion and there is a lack of, let's say, mapping and coordination. That is absolutely true. I can announce that I have a team that is currently working with the Ministry of Interior on a mapping and on a curriculum for all, at least German organizations, be they on civil society level, government level, local, federal, or state bound, a curriculum for all these organizations that they can refer to. That includes the literature, that includes a mapping of the projects and the mapping of the results. So not now, but maybe next time we gather, we will probably be able to look into that.
We have a break?
No, she has a question first. I think we have it.
Sorry.
I was just, can I just get it right?
On the other side.
There is that the focus dialogue?
Yeah, focus dialogue with the radical group. Yeah,
Okay.
this is a program. Yeah.
So my question is, because I read somewhere, I study international relations and cultural diplomacy. So I've read about the importance of dialogue
Yes.
as a solution to solving conflicts and
In Arabic we say it al-munasaha, ideology by ideology.
yes. So and one important reasons why they talk about dialogue is that when you try to dialogue with maybe
Radical.
opposite or radical, so you have to first of all be able to recognize the identity of this person. So my question is, with regards to radicalization and some terrorist groups they will call, if this dialogue has to be fostered between two parties, so how successful do you think it's going to be when you have to recognize an identity or an ideology? Let's take, for instance, maybe the ISIS or maybe the Boko Haram, that many of us wouldn't maybe agree with the ideology or perspectives. If we have to recognize these identities and in order to foster this dialogue without a military solution, how do you think it's going to be
Yes.
successful?
Yeah, thank you. Regarding the dialogue, we believe that ideology or radical ideology is better to fight it also by ideology. In Arabic we say it al-munasaha. Some country, I don't want to mention them, in the region, they are succeeded in the Middle East to apply al-munasaha. That means they use the ideology. Actually, that there are some program here in Germany also that they give consultation for some family, for some also groups, but regarding for the ideology or discussion, mostly when they talk about the religious or maybe the misunderstanding or explanation or understanding of some Quran text, for example. So those people, we should also talk with them, discuss with them that we call it al-tafsir in Arabic. We call it the explanation. The explanation may be in English. So how the radical person understand the text of Quran. Because sometimes I understand it, but maybe he understand it in another way. So he explain and he justify what he believe, and he take this text as the basic for his ideology. So it's very important that to have center giving consultation and also using the ideology, and mostly in a prison. This principle, I believe, to talk with the radical group, mostly inside the prison, is, I believe, is very useful. Thank you.